Hi, it's Elaine from Penguin Place Crafts. It's Friday, 6:30ish, 6:42. I have to make this quick because it's 7 o'clock. I've got to be out my chair. Yeah, because that's when Wheel of Fortune comes on. That's the rule in this house. 7 o'clock, watching Wheel of Fortune. So yesterday, I made a lot of progress on the snuggle blanket that I'm making for myself. What I said, it's up to about 16 inches now. So I got a lot of that done. 16 inches. You've got to go 60, then 60, then I think there's another 20 for the flap that goes over. So 80. I've got almost a quarter of it done. So yeah, that I was zipping along with that yesterday. But then today I was like, okay, let's get some stuff done off the list. I needed to forward some craft show information to someone that I met at a show back in the fall. I had a project that I've been working on for days that I wanted to get finished up. I just had some organization stuff to do. I reorganized my craft cart. I think it's more helpful now the way that it is. But it has been a good day. It has been a productive day. I have this bag that I got with one of my kits, with the dragon kit. And there are 4 things that I finished today in this bag. First, I told you, like the good news was that last scrap bag number 10, had 2.4 ounces of blue yarn. That was the good news. The bad news is it was in like 27 little balls. I made an Ankylosaurus. Used the blue for the body and the legs and the head. This color combination was recommended by my granddaughter, Lyra. When she came over before Thanksgiving, they came over on a Saturday to pick up their Thanksgiving turkey, and I pulled my day planner out and gave her colored pencils and said, here. I drew the basic outline of an Ankylosaurus and said, here, what color should I make him? And she said blue, although that looks lavender, but it's a baby blue. Blue and gold. So I have an Ankylosaurus. I need to find, I know he has at least one. Oops, I'm knocking stuff off the table here. Where's your cousin? I know you've got a cousin in here. There we go. Okay, I said he may look violet or light purple, but he's actually blue. This one is definitely. Stomp, 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 stomp. Okay, stop playing with the toys. Into the light box with you. Into the light box with you. I'll get pictures of you and get you on Etsy right away, and then I'll have this sense of accomplishment. But I still had some of that blue yarn left over. Okay, gotta say this correctly. Because a macaroon is an American cookie, usually made with coconut. Macaroon is the French one. So I made a little blue macaroon, and I still had yarn left over, so I made another one. Let's see, where do they go? We'll put them over there. And then I still had some of that yarn left over, so I doubled it up with a variegated yarn, not doubled. I combined it with a variegated yarn that was also in scrap bag 10, and I made a striped turtle. Well, this guy, yes, here is the book Whimsical Stitches that the Macarons came from. He stands up. He doesn't tip over. A lot of times when there's a big head on a turtle like this, he'll go boom. When you try to stand him up, he's got weights at his feet. Each one of the feet, okay, it's been a long day. Each one of his feet has a little glass disc, the little glass flat bottom rounded top that you can put in a vase when you put flowers in. Not quite sure what you call them. So that's all that I made today. But I would consider that a good day. This, I tidied up the scrap bag 10. This is all of the solid colors. And this bag here, like these are all the little things of purple. So they're all put together. Not quite sure what I'm going to do with that. I do have 5 granny squares that were done. These are the variegated yarns. There were 2 of these, but I used 1 to make that turtle. And all of this is how this crocheter, whatever, well, she definitely crochets because there's granny squares. For some reason, she would take lengths of yarn, like cut a bunch of yarn into 18-inch lengths and then tie, in this case, it's like 4 of them, 6, yeah, I think it's 4 of them together, and just have 4 little lengths of yarn. So, yeah, sometimes when I make monsters, that's good for monster hair. Maybe I would knot them all together and try to make something, but that's part of the challenge. When I took on this, when I made myself this scrap yarn challenge, I didn't know what I was getting into. When I stopped at that thrift store on November 11th, I'm like, oh wow, look at the yarn. I was just tossing those bags in the cart. I wasn't taking a good look at them. And I think if I had stopped and taken a good look at them, I might have put a couple of them back. But I couldn't have known. You know, if I saw this in a bag, I would think, oh, that's probably about 1/4 of an ounce of yarn. It's just, you know, tied up in a little hank. I wouldn't think that's 6 different pieces of yarn. Each one is like, only about that long. I wouldn't have thought that. I would have looked at this and thought, oh wow, that's a nice big chunk of yarn. But there are a lot of ends hanging out of that thing. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, at least 7 that I can see right now. So, live and learn. Once I'm done with this challenge, I do have some other scrap bags that I can keep. Maybe once a month, pull out a scrap bag and see what I can make from it. But I think I will be more judicious in my thrift store purchases from this point onward. I'll probably go back. I think Memorial Day would probably be, well, maybe President's Day next month. But I don't know. I think I'll still be trying to avoid yarn purchases by President's Day in mid-February. I'm feeling good about just using up what I've got and not doing any yarn shopping because the expenses have been rolling in, although one expense I have to take off my list. Joann's canceled my order for the stuffing. So now I have to find another place where I can get a good bargain on a big box of stuffing. Yep. I knew there was something wrong when it was still not even in the processing stage, 2 weeks after I placed the order. Well, I have my Walmart bag to keep me busy for a month or so. But I had to sign up for one craft show that was $25 and another one that was $40. And I bought some safety eyes. And there was one book that I ordered because I was placing an Amazon order for some household stuff and I needed just a little bit more to get free shipping. So that was a splurge I could have backed off on. That was not necessary, but it's going to be fun to get a new book tomorrow. Hopefully tomorrow. Amazon says it has been shipped and that it will be delivered tomorrow. But I've heard that before. And they didn't quite make it. So I'm going to take my scrap bin out to my chair. And while I watch Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy, and probably Star Trek. Oh, you want to hear a funny story? Okay. Probably the reason why I got so much done today. On Fridays, one of our broadcast channels, H&I, Heroes and Icons, has a Hawaii Five-0 marathon from noon to 5 p.m. It's all Hawaii Five-0. And that same channel has Star Trek Sunday through Friday nights. So every day my husband will say, oh, what's Star Trek tonight? So I looked it up. Okay. It's the episode A Piece of the Action, where they land on a planet and it seems to be, it's like a gangster. It's based on a gangster. Everything's like a gangster novel. Well, that's because someone visited the planet and they left behind a gangster novel and they think, oh, this is the way things are supposed to be. Okay. One of the gangsters is Vic. Can't remember the last name. But he was Mel on Mel's Diner. Okay. The first Hawaii Five-0 episode that we watched today, he was in that as a bad guy. So it's like, what are the chances of seeing both a Hawaii Five-0 and a Star Trek in the same day with the same actor? And then the second or third one that we watched had an actress who was also in a Star Trek episode. If you remember the episode where this, like the queen of this one planet comes on board and she is being taken to another planet to be married off and she doesn't want to go. And she's spoiled rotten and awful manners. That actress was in the Hawaii Five-0 episode, like Little Witness or The Smallest Witness or something like that. So we saw her on Hawaii Five-0 today, but we didn't see that Star Trek episode. Don't usually watch that one because, I don't know, we don't like watching spoiled brats. So, okay, you got your Hawaii Five-0 and Star Trek lesson of the day. So now it is time for me to go out and play with yarn for a while and watch Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy. Bye-bye.